Many people wonder when watching videos of chimney directional blasting. Why? The chimney breaks in mid-air as it tilts. The blast only blew up the base. The rest is intact. But in the fall, it was bent and broken to a large extent. So where does this force come from? This issue will explore this important phenomenon of chimney breaking in mid-air. The reason it's important is because some semi-trailers driving perfectly fine on the road will suddenly enter a death wobble without warning, often causing the owner to fail to achieve his goals midway. This accident is actually related to the phenomenon of chimney breaking in mid-air. To investigate further, we came to a black brick kiln, where criminals built two chimneys, one tall and one short. As law enforcement detonated the explosives, the base of the chimney was blown up. From the collapse process, it's clear that the shorter chimney fell faster than the taller one. Let's recall the angular momentum theorem we learned in high school. The gravitational force of the chimney rotating around its base is m equals the rotational angular momentum L of the chimney, rate of change with respect to time t, and the angular momentum here is the moment of inertia g of the chimney, multiplied by angular velocity omega. So differentiating the angular momentum here with respect to time means the torque is equal to the moment of inertia times angular acceleration. So if that's the case, then observing the falling chimney we find the higher it is from the ground, the greater the moment of inertia. And as the height increases, the rate of increase of the moment of inertia exceeds the rate of increase of the torque, resulting in decreasing angular acceleration. So the parts closer to the top will be more lagging in displacement, causing the chimney to bend in the fall and break. But this principle, what does it have to do with the death wobble of a semi-trailer? Speaking of the death wobble of a trailer, someone tied a car model on a treadmill for observation when the trailer's weight is forward. Once disturbed, causing the body to tilt, it can immediately return to its original position. When the trailer's weight is slightly shifted back, disturb it again. I found that the speed of returning to its original position is slightly slower. The number of swings increased, but it can still drive safely. Continue to move back. Slight disturbance of the weight will cause the towing vehicle and the trailer to diverge and swing. Continue to oscillate. Imagine real towing vehicles. Once you enter such a death wobble, the amplitude will increase rapidly. The result is often loss of control and overturning. To study further, we came to the road. There was a brother who happened to be driving an electric car on a long trip. To increase the range, he specially towed a large generator. Charge on the go. From a bird's eye view, when the towing vehicle changes lanes quickly, the tongue of the hitch at the rear will cause the trailer to yaw, resulting in a slip angle between the trailer tires and the direction of travel. There is a lateral grip force perpendicular to the sidewall. This force produces a corrective torque on the hitch. According to the formula we summarized earlier, the corrective torque is equal to the moment of inertia of the trailer relative to the hitch, multiplied by the angular acceleration of the correction. As you can see, when the generator is constantly moving back in bumps, the moment of inertia of the entire trailer relative to the hitch will get bigger and bigger, reducing the angular acceleration of the correction. Therefore, when the center of gravity of the entire trailer is relatively forward, the towing vehicle suddenly changes lanes. The trailer can rely on the greater angular acceleration, quickly follow the towing vehicle's lateral offset, complete lane change almost synchronously. If the center of gravity of the trailer moves back a certain distance, then the angular acceleration will be slightly reduced. When the towing vehicle completes the lane change, the trailer is still continuing to offset due to a slight lag. So through the hitch, a smaller lateral force is applied to the rear of the towing vehicle. At this time, the driver feels a slight sway at the rear of the car when changing lanes, but holding the steering wheel can still drive safely. After a while, the generator has been bumped back a considerable distance, causing the angular acceleration of the trailer's correction to decrease significantly. When the towing vehicle has completed the lane change, the trailer, due to excessive lag in the correction, will have a large offset, with considerable force, pushing the towing vehicle's rear end that is being corrected. At this time, the driver finds that when turning the wheel back after changing lanes, the car had excessive steering. It's actually heading towards the next lane, so a large amount of reverse correction was made to further intensify the body sway. This causes the trailer to repeatedly push the front vehicle that couldn't keep up. In this way, under the disturbance of the trailer, the driver's overcorrection forms a human-machine coupling with the car's oversteering. The amplitude of the oscillation increases. The village entrance is ready to start the banquet at any time. It can be seen that the location of the trailer's center of gravity is an important factor affecting stability. According to the recommendations of the Society of Automotive Engineers, when the trailer's center of gravity is in the optimal range, the weight borne by the hitch-tongue should be between 10% to 15% of the total saliva weight. If the trailer's center of gravity is too forward, then the right foot goes too far in the right direction, causing the towing vehicle to be pushed up. The front wheel grip is reduced. Therefore, before going on the road, review the angular momentum theorem and make sure the hitch-tongue weight is appropriate. It's an effective way to avoid trailer death wobble.